Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Emma and today we are watching Money Heist Korea Joint Economic Area Season 1 Episode 5. If you want to watch my uncut sis reaction, links to the Patreon is down below. Last episode we saw the aftermath of Moscow opening the main doors to the Mint and the chaos that ensued. So we saw that they had some of the suspects, the criminals and the director and a couple other victims form a triangle over Denver and Moscow, and then eventually back them in to the Mint. In the process though, the negotiator and her partner, they didn't know what to do and they used one of the snipers to shoot the director, which was a big controversial thing because, you know, you've shot the director of the Mint, you know, that is where money is printed. But not only that, this is gonna ensue a crisis for the whole of Korea because, you know, they're trialing out merging North and South together and this could jeopardize that, which is, you know, we don't want that to happen. So that put things into question there and we saw a lot of them panicking. And knowing that the director was injured, he got shot right in the chest and he was not in a good way at all. So the negotiator and her team came up with the idea of sending in some paramedics, but also our man that is sort of assisting the negotiator, the one with the glasses, he decided they could put him in a medic's uniform and pose as a doctor. And at the time it was a really good idea. Like, I was super stoked for this idea because, you know, get some insight. This is one step closer to shutting this whole operation down. But unfortunately they did not they don't know that the professor is obviously one that is involved, and that professor is the guy that's sort of dating the negotiator, and he barged in the tent and he had a good look around and he realised that Nairobi and Rio have been identified by the police. He also got a look of the man, the cop, and as he was surveying the security cameras, obviously he recognised the medic and that he wasn't actually a medic, he was a cop. So that foiled the police's plan. They put a camera in his glasses, which did capture some stuff, but not much. Everyone was in masks. They even changed the masks midway through the whole operation while he was in there. So that completely foiled his plans. So again, suspects are one step ahead. They've been ahead last episode. They did well in getting forward in their plans, and the professor was quite pleased with that. During surgery, Denver, he's still on the mission along with Tokyo to keep this poor woman alive. The mistress of the director, she's still shot in the leg. Like, she's still bleeding out, people. I cannot believe she is lasting this long with a wound like that, with people that are criminals and do not really know first aid training, apart from Tokyo really. But it came out, we got a bit of a backstory to Rio and his life, and it turns out his parents really pushed him to go through with medical school and push for Rio to be a doctor or a surgeon or whatever. But Rio was more about the party life, living, you know, acting out like a young man would, you know, being a teenager, you know, going to parties and hanging out with friends. He didn't really want the sophisticated and dedicated life of pursuing a career in medical and being a doctor, and it isn't the life he wanted to choose for himself. So yeah, his parents are quite disapproving of his actions, and he seems to come from quite a wealthy family as well. So yeah, it appears he's like disappointed his parents, and they don't approve of his lifestyle. But on the plus, Rio knows some first aid training, and he knows sort of, I don't know the extent of his knowledge, but he knows how to do surgery, sew up wounds and stuff. But it turns out he has a massive fear of blood, and that really, I think that was one of the main reasons why he didn't want to become a doctor or pursue medical school, because of obviously blood. I hate blood as well, so I feel for him. It really, you know, it really affects him, and it did when he was operating on the woman. At the end of the episode, we saw that what Rio did was quite successful, and the mistress is on the mend, but Denver is also donating his blood to her. We saw that they were both hooked up with wires where they, you know, they were doing the process of like a blood transfusion, whatever they were doing really. And Denver willingly gave away his blood to her. And this just furthers my suspicions that Denver does truly care about this woman. He has been by her side since the start, since, you know, they came into contact with the director. And he does truly care for her. I mean, he's under the impression that she's pregnant, and we don't really know if it's true or not. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't exactly know, but he's just been caring for her ever since, and, you know, keeping her away from Berlin, who was a total psycho. And yeah, I'm really shipping them. At the very end of the episode, we saw Tokyo is now the new leader of the troops, and the professor is fully down for this. He's seen the injustice that Berlin has been doing, and, you know, the professor was under the impression that he did order to kill a woman, but she is alive, but they don't know that yet. Tied Berlin up with duct tape and thrown him in a room and locked the doors. So Berlin is in a little room somewhere seething. This is not what he had anticipated, because I feel like he really likes control, as we've seen from his backstory in last episode. So seeing him bound in a room with no control, it is quite funny to see, because this is not how he is used to being. Oh yes, of course, the negotiator and her ex-husband. We saw that they have history and she has a restraining order against him. They must deal with so much abuse from, like, the press. Especially Woo-jin, like, she deals with so much, and she's, you know, on a high-profile case too. She's got a lot on her plate. Grandma's gone. Excuse me? Her condition is obviously worsening. It is a big deal though, because she's left the house, no one knows where she is. You know, she could get herself in real danger. I feel so bad for the negotiator. She's got so much on. God, now she's got a boyfriend for a maniac. I know, she needs a shoulder to cry on, like, every now and then. She's got so much. But him is not the right choice, because of who he is. Oh, yes! One of the soldiers is still inside the mint. He never made it out last episode, and he's got that little buzzer and he's doing Morse code. That's amazing. So they're saying he said infiltration success in Morse code. They think there's a rat. What? They think the negotiator's the traitor? I mean, she's with someone that is... she's with the professor, but she doesn't know that. They care so much about the unification of Korea that, you know, they've got a lot to consider when moving forward with this heist. I would love it if she found something. This would be perfect. You're sleeping with the enemy. Oh my goodness, that is his lair. But the professor isn't in there. This is not the way to go about this! No, this is not what the negotiator had wanted! Even though they haven't made too much progress, still. Here she is! She's okay! Oh god, everyone's really happy! Like, even the staff are happy, like, Jesus!
나머진 남녀 나눠서 잘 수 있으니까 로비에서 지내는 것보단 여러모로 나을 거야.
Oh, they're genuinely being nice to them now. Oh, okay, I'm really shipping her in Denver now. Oh no, but she's got to spend the room with the director. God, I couldn't think of anything worse. Everyone looks genuinely, like, happy now. Like, appreciative of how they're being treated. When they find out that... Oh goodness, he can hear! Oh, the tap phone! This is an invasion of privacy! Oh, stroking his ego! What the hell? Oh no! But this guy only knows about the higher-ups wanting to get rid of her. No one else really knows. Because it's all top secret stuff. So... yeah, he's keeping a close eye on her. I just can't believe this. She's seen the professor in her personal time, you know, really liking each other, and then when they're both at work, they're against each other. The contrast is crazy.
당신은 강도구단 인질이니까.
Oh. Yeah. See, that's the trouble, you know. He's still a bad guy. She's trying to create distance between them now. I see where she's coming from, because you still could not fully trust him, even if he's been so kind to you, you know. He's still a suspect, he's still a thief or whatever, you know. He's gone in with ill intention, you can't just fully trust him. Oh god, he's here, he's heard it. Uh-oh. Professor didn't anticipate that. Hide in plain sight, but I don't know. If they track that car to his cafe, they're screwed. And Woo-jin's gonna realise who she slept with. Uh-oh. The car. They're gonna check the junkyard! And beat the crap out of him! I hope you're not beating the crap out of him, director. Because you do shit. But that means it would be Denver. I have something to say. Lunchtime exhibition hall store. Oh god. No! They are going through with it! And he looks excited! Oh, this is so messed up! He's trying to find the car. What's he gonna do though? What, set on fire? The negotiator's out of bounds now. They're going through with this infiltration plan. The professor's not in there, you idiots! No! She hasn't known him before this! She's hurt! No! Professor is shaking. He is quaking. This has gotten way out of hand. Berlin is... oh god, he's really sick. Well, yeah, you probably should have given him the pills. Yes, now he knows. He knows. Look. Uh-oh. Did he shoot her? So you're telling me? Oh my god! He's put lighter fluid all over that car, and now he's driving it away. Professor, you are in deep, deep trouble. Wow, that episode was action-packed and I was gripped from start to finish. Where do I start? My goodness, the plan has gone completely out of hand. We've got Berlin convulsing and in a right state. Turns out he has a terminal illness. Who would have thought? And he's been taking medication to try and help that, but Rio didn't give him any. So he's currently in a bad state, but he's also possibly killed Rio. The wanted man knows how to kill someone. He's had experience, obviously. And he got him round the neck, and I hope he's just knocked out Rio. I hope he's not dead. Because, you know, he is a pawn in the plan. He's not the mastermind, you know, he's just doing his job. So I like Rio, you know, he's innocent really in all this. I mean, he's not completely innocent, but his demeanour and that, he can't really do much wrong. So I hope he's okay. Meanwhile, we've got Tokyo. She has been doing a really good job, I feel like, sanctioning people. She's been really friendly in her approach to dealing with them, as she should be. These people, they're just collateral damage, but they didn't do anything wrong. They're innocent, and she knows that. She's following what the professor wants, which is peace, you know, don't hurt anybody, and she's really taking that in her stride. I think she's doing very well. And the hostages are in a much comfortable situation, allowed to use the toilet when they want to. A luxury we take for granted. But for them, it's it doesn't come so easy. And the undercover police officer in the red outfit, he has been successfully blended in amongst the masses of the hostages. And Anna, the US ambassador's daughter, she's playing a bigger part now. She's got involved and has been talking to him along with Mi-sun and the director, sadly. They're all in on this plan, and obviously his mission, instructed by the higher-ups of the police. They want this done and dusted. They don't want all this waiting. I can imagine it costing them a lot of money, and you know, they don't really care for many fatalities, to be honest, by the sounds of it. They just want it done and out the way, which I don't like. The negotiator doesn't want that, and they've been going against her. They've been the main man alongside the negotiator, he's trying to demine her ideas and try to go with his, because obviously he's been instructed by his boss to do differently. So I can't really blame him, but the negotiator's ideas they're better. You know, they let her idea of tracking down that car in the surveillance footage has led her to the professor. She hasn't caught him yet, but she found him. She doesn't know that yet, but she has, and it was a good plan. The professor has, you know, Oslo has completely destroyed the professor's plan of being anonymous and everything, and he failed to destroy the car at the junkyard, so he took it into his own hands and tried to get it. He lit the whole thing in lighter fluid, but before he could torch the thing, Woo-jin, the negotiator, and some police were already there, ready with guns to take down a suspect in this. And it really spooked the professor. You could see on his face he was not anticipating this. You saw pure dread on his face, that he'd been caught. That's the look of a pure guilty man, and he thought genuinely, by the look of his face, that he had been caught. He hasn't yet, so he just kept driving, and he's now in a high-speed police chase. the negotiator is hot on his tail, and I'm hoping she captures him, because, you know, it would be quite satisfying seeing the look on her face when she sees that she has had sex with the enemy. Although devastating to her, you know, she doesn't know he's the professor. And she said early in this episode, the professor is not in the mint. She figured it out. She said, you know, he's been talking to them from inside. He's outside wherever he is, you know. He's not in there. But everyone else seemed to think, no, he's got to be in there. And the higher-ups have instructed this undercover cop in the mint to shoot and kill the professor. And they thought it was Tokyo because of what the director was saying. He concluded it must be Tokyo. On what evidence? There was no concrete evidence of that. He just sort of came to that conclusion. Why they are taking the director's opinion over professionals, I do not know. The undercover cop just seemed to believe the director when he said, oh, it's gotta be Tokyo. Can't be Rio, he's too young. This is coming from that logic. It's so frustrating because the director seems to have influence in everyone, and he's so annoying and ruins people's plans and lives. How he was able to be a director of the mint in the first place is beyond me, because he's unbearable. But anyway, I digress. The undercover police officer fired a shot at Tokyo. Whether it hit or not, we don't know. That's how it ended. I hope for Tokyo's sake she's okay. People have been shot twice before and they've been okay. Mi-sun and the director, they're alright. So I hope Tokyo is. Third time's a charm. And we've also got my favourite ship of the show. We've got Mi-sun and Denver. Oh my goodness, they were quite adorable this episode. She, rightfully so, doesn't completely trust Denver, because although he saved her life and he's being nice to her, he's still part of the bad guys, you know. He's a thief, he's a criminal, and although he's been helping her, he can't fully be trusted, and that is completely valid, and I think all of us would think that too. But when the undercover cop with the director, Mi-sun and Anna were all discussing, the director brightly said, you know, he's the one with all the knowledge and police facts and, you know, ways to take down criminals. Came up with the idea of beating the shit out of Denver, the weak one. That was not gonna work. Denver, first of all, isn't the weak one, okay? I don't think any of them are particularly weak. Denver, he's a loyal guy, you know, if they would have paid attention, they would have known that. And I think his treatment of Mi-sun was an example of being a good person and, you know, taking care of people. They shouldn't have... Oh, whatever. Anyway, they beat him up, and pretty bad, it looks like. But Mi-sun found him and tackled the director off of him and stood in front of a weapon for Denver. She's put her life at risk for him. You know, the director is unhinged. He will do whatever it takes to survive and keep himself happy. He doesn't care about anyone else. And I'm surprised at Mi-sun's actions. She does care about... They've both been thinking about each other the whole day. And I don't think Mi-sun can help her feelings towards Denver. He's been very charming. And Denver, I think he's been pure in his intentions towards her, you know? He's looked after her and gone against his boss in the process. It shows that he is loyal to her. We've only got one episode left. I know there's a part 2 to this season, which is coming out late this year, but we don't know exactly. The date hasn't been released yet. But I don't know how they're going to end this first part. Is the professor going to get caught? Is Tokyo dead? What's going to happen? I'm so excited to know the final episode of this part, because I kind of want everyone to have a happy ending, but I know that's not going to be the case. Not with shows like this, and I know that there's going to be more drama to unfold and more chaos. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching my reaction to Money Heist Korea Joint Economic Area Season 1 Episode 5. If you want to watch my uncut sis reaction, the links to Patreon is down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for Episode 6. Bye!